Okay, so for today's video, I want to jump into a quick one about why young people have stopped believing in democracy. So, long and short of it, young people used to be the engine of change, and now many say that democracy just feels broken. So, today I want to jump into a video to show you why they're losing faith, what they actually believe in instead, and what that means for the next generation, God forbid. So, recent youth polling, by youth we mean 16 to 29-year-olds, shows that while many young people still prefer democracy over dictatorship, and so they should, that a substantial number share the fear that the UK's democracy and free speech is in massive trouble, maybe even going to be eroded forever. Trust is fragile and it's declining in parts of that demographic, 16 to 29-year-olds. So, what does stopping believing actually look like, and why has this happened? Well, you get lower turnouts for a start at political rallies, events, and voting. There's political disaffection, there's a focus on issue based activism, things like climate, things like housing. There's an appetite for alternative institutions, things like mutual aid and localism over traditional politics. There's a huge driver of distrust, things like perceived political corruption or cronyism. There are broken promises, and we've seen lots of those recently. Lack of affordable housing, of course, and the crippled job market. And all of these things mean that the prospects for young people, and when you combine that with online misinformation, malinformation, disinformation, whatever you want to call it, and the neglect of youth issues in the mainstream debates, why should they feel any other way? The internet has a massive impact on this. Social media is like an echo chamber and it can accelerate outrage. It also can positively give young people organizing tools which previous generations have never had access to. So, does this make it a friend? Does it make it a foe? Well, the jury's out. We've all seen recently the events that happened over the Charlie Kirk incident, shall we say. I'm not going to go into it too much. We all know what happened. We all know why it happened, and that it shouldn't have happened. Nobody should have that happen to them. But the aftermath, places like Reddit, places like Twitter, and also some auditors that were interviewing around local college campuses and stuff. The ignorance and the, I guess, the kind of just the not caring that some people had towards it when somebody had gone through that, their family had gone through that. His kids are now fatherless. It beggars belief that people can think that way, and part of that is because of the way that he was portrayed on social media. So, as much as social media can be a friend and that it gives kids, the youth, anybody that uses it, tools to network and to convey opinion and to absorb information, it can also be used for bad. And I think we're seeing that in action literally right now with the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk incident. So, yeah, I mean, there are alternatives that young people favour as well. So, things like local councils that have got real power, things like participatory budgeting, more direct action, issue-based parties rather than traditional, left and right that just stand on lies, and also digital democracy experiments. And all of these things are relevant to them. Many of them are things that previous generations never had. And that's the advance of, I guess, not just politics, but the advance of technology that's caused this. So there are consequences for politics as well. There's volatility. There are new parties that are on the rise. There's a lower turnout at ballots, and also political rallies. And this undermines mandates. It means that there's more politics going on outside of formal institutions than probably inside. Um, how do you fix all this? Well, you need civic education. There needs to be an upgrade to it. You need to lower the barriers to entry. I know they tried voting at 16 for some. I don't think that's probably a very good idea. My own opinion is that I think it probably should be raised to 21, mainly because I don't think at 16 or even 18 you've lived enough of life away from an educational system to really have a proper opinion of how the world works. And that's just my own opinion on it. But we need citizen assemblies. We need genuine accountability reforms as well. And that's massive because obviously it's all too common nowadays that politicians and those that make political decision are not held truly accountable for errors in judgment, for errors in action, or just for abuse of power. And all of this compounds, if you like, to produce distrust in the system, which then means that people don't vote and people look for alternatives. So, what do you think the answer is to this? What would you do to fix this? Um, do you believe that democracy is dead? Do you believe that free speech is gone? And what can we do to get it back? YouTube's going to put another video there. Obviously, like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. That'd be massive. And there'll be another one tomorrow. Goldman. Peace out.